Lip Plumper.
You put your face in a vacuum and sucks out your lips.
It also works on zits.
It would have to be hips, wouldn't it?
It only takes a
with you,
minute, but it lasts for hours.
By the way,
They
do make a vacuum for zits too, just in case you were thinking that was something.
Oh,
that
you
didn't
need-
exist.
Oh, I was just about to say, can I just use my regular vacuum? No, you've got to use the approved official Lip Plumper.
That's right. Make sure it's got the
Scottish lip plumper.
what was on the back of the Danny DeVito cutout?
The decal, right? It was an authentication decal.
Hologram.
Hologram.
The
Yeah.
authentic hologram.
You need the authentic Lip Plumper hologram.
Yes.
You don't want the knockoff one.
What if you could get an attachment for just a regular vacuum cleaner, a Lip Plumper attachment for your vacuum?
That's kind of you have to make sure it's Lip Plumper and not like mouth fatty or something.
Rump. Wait, if you put the toilet seat on your vacuum, it's the rump plumper.
In case you guys are wondering.
Oh my gosh, I'm writing it down. That's my $1 million idea.
The Rump Plumper.
Obviously, what happened was Brian had reddish-looking lips, and I had to inform the gentleman that actually there exists a device to make your lips look red and plump, and off to the races we went.
And that's all we can think about now.
Yeah.
That's
It's because a catchy tune just got stuck in the head.
Yeah.
JT just started banging out that tune, and now I kind of want to stop and write a song
in real time.
And you'll get the rump plumper in for free.
Look at her rump. Is it natural or is it rump plumper?
How much
Was she
would you
born
pay
with it?
for the Lip Plumper and the Rump Plumper? But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
Was she born with it or did she sit on her vacuum cleaner?
If you call right now in the next 5 minutes, we'll throw in not just one, but 2 Lip Plumpers.
You can plump both lips.
And if you've been cutting down trees on your property recently and have some leftover stumps, you can also use it to pull up the stumps. Stump plumper.
Stump plumper. The stump plumper.
Stump jumper. Not recommended by the FDA, the ADA, and your mom won't like it either.
I like the potential for a song for this because a lot of words rhyme with plump.
It's already written.
Yeah,
Potential it exists now.
Done.
It's done.
It's all done. Yeah, I don't think. I think we should throw out the show for tonight and just go with Lip Plumpers.
Just write the Lip Plumper song.
Yeah,
I've already got the music.
Yeah, that's half the battle is knowing what
lost
kind of
interest.
groove you want.
Yeah, we've got it. It's nailed.
Knowing's half the battle. Lip Plumper.
Hey, things are animating.
We got a chat
Everybody.
room that's blowing up tonight.
Everybody's here.
Hello.
Oh, look, JT Oaks is in the comments section.
Imagine that.
JT is always in the comments.
I feel like if I open up a YouTube window, my computer would just get sucked into a black hole.
So, Jessica.
Take a seat, gonna grab a snack, gonna kill the room, gonna talk some smack. Cutting it down like a lumberjack, come and take a ride in my
Gonna plump
Cadillac.
your lip.
Kicking it live on the radio. Everybody got a right to know. This ain't my first rodeo. Hit spotlight, here we go. Are you ready
Ready
for
to
the
plump
show?
your lips.
Are you ready for the show?
Plump it up, 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 plump it up.
Are you ready for the show?
Jasmine's going to be on the show next week, you guys.
Yay!
Oh, we've got a guest.
That's right. She's. Well, we don't actually.
Dust off the chairs.
You're not. You need to do your Australian accent.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Right.
Got a Lip Plumper.
Hoping you catch
Have an
gonna be
Australian in the house
Ain't no
next
time
week.
to be depressed. Are
Welcome. Welcome to SCQS. All of you with thin lips or plump lips, all are welcome tonight.
I don't know. They missed the show before the show. That's why we have an effort party.
That's right, we have an effort party.
So we're going to have a show after the show.
This show is so big that we cannot contain it in a single in a thing. It's
I'm
huge.
surprised we get it in this rectangle.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
I know it doesn't fit. It is
It's too huge.
It just keeps expanding. We started doing the sound check with 2 minutes, before the show, thinking, we could use an extra 2 minutes, but we still can't cram everything in.
No.
That's
We
why
have an effort party.
So we got to sign up.
That's right. Yep. Then we're going to have an effort party, to debrief from the effort party.
That's right.
It's basically just us watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
At that point.
In a room with mirrors on both sides of us, so it just goes.
It is that quite often.
Infinity window.
Yeah, so it's just the infinite effort party. Ooh. We got a gigantic show tonight, though, for you guys.
How gigantic is it, John?
JT,
I feel like you're losing your fire, JT. You want another?
How big is it, John?
I feel like I'm glad. Well, I'm glad you asked, JT, because if this woolly mammoth represents a typical show, tonight's show, get ready, looks a little something like this.
Guac cake.
Guacamole.
It's the guac cake.
Right.
Guacamole.
Guac plumper. Guac plumper.
I wonder.
I am amused every time little cupcake man dances across the screen, and I don't know why.
He's fantastic.
He just
Guac
makes me
is
happy.
extra. Guac's an upcharge.
If we ever do a live version of this on stage, we have to get a suit. I mean, he's our mascot. The guac cake has to be the mascot.
Yeah. When we start doing this live and traveling all over the nation doing live SKU shows, we'll have to definitely have a guy that we pay to just flop around in the cupcake costume.
Yes.
And just get a college student and get it for free. Yep. Just go, hey, you want to put on a cupcake costume
intern.
and run around and be like,
It's our cupcake intern.
It counts as a credit.
you get community service. Put it on your resume.
You get a credit
I was a
hour,
guacamole cupcake.
He would be like, cupcakes? No, those are terrible. I'll put on a cheesecake costume. Cupcakes are awful. But before we do anything, we've got to give a shout out to our clickers.
Clickers are great. They're super amazingly great. Athletic and fun and super smart. Their beautiful faces are work of art. Clickers are great. They're wonderful, boss, and great. If without them we'd be destitute and drifting into the abyss. Lovely clickers, we blow you a kiss. If you were born in Haydock, all your neighbors called you Yicker. Let's have a lolly ice and great a belter of a clicker.
Hey, I don't know what he said, but we appreciate our clickers so much that we give them a shout out every single week. And this week, in no particular order, our clickers are Keith Hoffman, and also Thank you to all of our clickers, especially to Keith and Justin tonight. If you would like to be a member of our comedy clique, we would love to have you.
We would
from
love
the
it.
bottom of our hearts.
Yes.
We would love to have
From
you.
the bottom of our plump hearts.
From the bottom of our plumped
I gotta get my heart plumper.
hard plumper. We have an effort party after the show where we talk about all kinds of stuff that I can't tell you about because I don't exactly know what it's going to be about.
Secret too.
But there are many, many benefits. Please join. Go to johnbranyan.com. Help us pay for the show. Everything that we do costs a little bit of money. Little Cupcake Man, that's not free. That has to be designed and animated.
He's on salary now, isn't he?
He's on salary.
Guac
Yeah,
cake
everything
on salary.
costs. Everything costs money. And I think he's on I think he's over here too. I think he's everywhere that we can.
That guy.
Can be.
That guy's
Put him
stomping
up.
on all your faces.
He can be.
Yeah, right there he is. See?
Look at him
that's not-
go.
That kind of technology doesn't come for free. It all costs money. Thank you to our Cliquers for all of your support. We sincerely appreciate it. Now, this week, somebody help me remember how it is that we came up with the song for this week.
We were doing the Smartest Man Alive improv game where we said one word, and we were trying to figure out. The question was something about why are kids slow 1 minute and fast another, and bathroom fire. That's logical. It's the only logical explanation.
Can't argue with the smartest man in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you have to say is I don't remember, Juwan.
That wasn't made up.
No, it was. You're right. It had something to do with the Smartest Man, and so this week I think we decided to do the song in the Effort Party, right?
Mm-hmm. We did.
The Effort Party, the Cliquers in the Effort Party demanded it, and so
we were going in a completely different direction, but the
Yes.
chat room just blew up, and everybody wanted bathroom fires so bad.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, and it's important that we say this because the Cliquers do have influence over the show. We're not just saying that to make it seem more important than it is. They actually do influence us.
This is for you, Cliquers. We did this for you.
I picked out this
It's all
paint
for you.
This
It wasn't
painting in
our
my
idea.
background.
It was your idea.
So you're welcome, or it's all your fault.
Yeah. So if you like it, then thanks for helping us produce it. And if you don't like it, it's all your fault.
Yep. It's like a fondue restaurant.
Exactly.
You can only blame yourself.
Somebody dropped their car keys in here?
Okay. So I have created a video. John Thomas did the recording with his banjo, and I put the recording to music, and I'm looking for it as we speak. I probably should have had this ready to go before.
You put the recording to music?
Well, I took the music and set it. I didn't set it to music. I made an animation for it. I shouldn't talk while I'm trying to find files.
Well, while you're looking for that, I just want to remind everyone,
Right.
this weekend, John and I are going to be performing at Gutty's Comedy Club in Indiana. So if you want to come on out and see John, Branyan, and I do some stand-up comedy, you can come out. Go to guttyscomedyclub.com for tickets. There's my shameless plug.
That's right. I'm looking forward to that. That's going
That's
to
gonna
be
be
fun.
fun.
No shame needed, Brian.
Oh, Jeff's got his tickets.
Where?
Jeff's gonna be
what
there.
city is it in?
It is Greenwood. It's like it's South
Greenwood.
Indianapolis, basically.
Yes.
Oh,
I know it well.
Okay.
I know it well. I did my
All right, are we
baking
ready?
in Greenwood.
Are we ready for this? Because as soon as I hit
I'm
open, I
ready.
think it's going to pop up on the screen. All right, Jawan's ready.
ready.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Gotta go.
I'm staring at the ceiling with a frigid, frozen feeling. I can't lay down my heavy load while suffering on this cold commode. I only know one certain cure that'll fix this hostile temperature. To warm my carcass, I'll require a little bit of fuel for a bathroom fire. Gather up anything that'll burn and put it on my bill. This restroom break cannot adjourn till I knock off the chill. Merry little flames, come and bring your heat. Merry little heat, come and warm my seat. Bathroom fire, bathroom fire. It's a necessary caper. I got towels and toilet paper. A match in a floor that's made of tile. This fire's gonna burn for quite a while. Somebody sees smoke coming out of my stall, so they give the service desk a call. The manager gripes, so I inform her, keep the Walmart bathroom warmer. Gather up anything that'll burn and put it on my bill. This restroom break cannot adjourn till I knock off the chill. Merry little flames, come and bring your heat.
merry little heat coming warm my seat. Bathroom fire, bathroom fire.
Everybody together.
Gather up anything that'll burn and put it on my bill. This restroom break cannot adjourn till I knock off the chill. Merry little flames, come and bring your heat. Merry little heat, come and warm my seat. Bathroom fire, bathroom fire.
At a lower third, like
right.
MTV. That's fantastic. Yeah. I'm going to sing this in my outhouse tonight.
John, you wrote lyrics. You wrote most of the lyrics, John. You didn't even put your name on the video.
Oh, well, we're actually in the process of getting all of that stuff lined up so that we can, when we make our millions and millions of dollars off of this music that we're creating, we'll be able to properly share it. But
I loved how the fire just raged out of control gradually as the longer the video went on.
Also, black smoke. Burning tires in the bathroom fire.
yeah.
Bathroom tires. I mean, you are in a Walmart, so.
I'm legitimately, that chorus has been stuck in my head for about 4 days. I
That's a
can't.
good sign.
I
good.
cannot get rid of it. Merry little,
Let's just say we're church.
merry little flame, come and bring your heat. So, yeah, that is the sort of production that's going to become the norm. That becomes the norm when we put our heads together with our Cliquers and we pool our resources. So it brings a tear to my eye to see that little video. I still want to do Lip Plumper, but
Oh yeah,
That's a dude. Yeah.
yeah, that's definite.
That's without question.
well, the other thing that occurred to me, and this is probably something we should talk about at the after party, so I'll save it for the after party.
Save it. Ooh, yeah.
Is what we can do with these things that we're producing, these musics that we're producing. Musics, am I saying that correctly?
Sure. You just said it.
Musics.
It's a word now. If you say it, it's
the
a word.
plural of music is musics. Okay. We also had an idea a few weeks ago at the effort party to play What's My Line? And we haven't gotten around to playing it because we've been bickering amongst ourselves as to exactly how to play What's My Line.
We still don't even know.
Yeah.
Right.
What's
And
gonna
so
be good here.
we finally settled on a method of playing the game, and we're going to try it tonight. This will be the first time that we play this game, and if it's a success, I'm watching our producer flip through all of the slides to try to find the one that we need. So how this is going to work is the four of us, myself, Brian, Juwan, and JT, have lived lives prior to doing SCQS. I mean, this is our...
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
This is all we do now. This is
the
all we
peak.
think about.
Yeah.
24 hours a day.
It was a steep mountain climbing to this part.
Right. But now, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, all we do is think about SCQS.
Yeah.
But before that, we had other various jobs. And so I've created a slide here that has the four occupations on them without reference to who it was that actually had them. And so we are going to take them one at a time, and you, our beloved SCQS audience, is going to be able to ask questions. 3 questions about each of the occupations. And the producer will pick the questions. She will be looking through them and finding the best ones. And then she'll put them up on the screen, and then each of us will take a turn answering that question, and then you have to discern which of us goes with which occupation.
Okay.
I want to make a suggestion. You can ask whatever you want, but 2 suggestions. If you flat out ask us if we were the job, we're all going to say yes anyway.
Yep.
And then if you ask us a yes or no question, that's not really going to give you that much information.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
It's
that's
our
why
job
we'll leave it.
Try to
Yeah.
catch us in our lies.
And
Right,
we're
we'll
going
leave it to the producer.
We're going to say it as if all of them are correct for us, and
Yes.
try
Yeah.
to deceive.
Right. We will be trying to deceive you.
Yes, because we want you to lose.
Yes.
All right. So these are the thanks, JT. Because we want you to lose. So one of us was a Little Caesars pizza maker. One of us was involved in wedding photography. One of us was a designer of ads for Yellow Pages, and one of us produced public access television shows. And so we'll start at the top. Little Caesar Pizza Maker. So any questions that you have that you think will help determine which of us was the Little Caesars Pizza Maker, put those questions in the comment sections. The producer will scour them and pick out the best ones, put them up, and then we will one at a time answer those questions. And whichever one of us you think has the most, the best answers.
The thing is, if you were a Little Caesars pizza maker or are a Little Caesars pizza maker, you have insider questions you can ask.
Right.
You can ask those questions, and that's how this game is supposed to work. You're supposed to ask questions that will make it easy to figure out which of us are not telling the truth.
Yep.
So, yeah, all of you Little Caesars aficionados, all of you Little Caesars stockholders, I don't know why that would make any difference. On an average day, how many pizzas did you make? Okay. Well, it's going to depend on which franchise you're at. The franchise that I worked at, the average number of pizzas that we made on a day, it's also going to depend on whether it's a weekday or a weekend. But if you averaged it all out, we made about 300 pizzas a day.
Yeah, John's absolutely right. It depends basically on which day it is, and obviously if it's football season, your Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are going to be way more busy. And those days, I'd say in a 8-hour shift, you could probably crank out probably a good 200 pizzas in an 8-hour shift. And then you have your twisty bread, you have all that sort of the crazy bread and all that. So plus the delivery.
Well, these guys, obviously, whoever wrote the thing, it's a Little Caesars pizza artist. First of all, is how we're referred to.
Yeah.
And and you're right, it does depend on the weekend or if it's a sporting event or like if a volleyball team comes in. And the other thing is Little Caesars got the best priced pizza. So we're constantly cranking them out. Now, per person on a 5-man crew, we would make like 100 pizzas a night. So I would say like 500 pizzas. And it's weird, too, as the youth groups on Wednesday night. You'd get maybe like 10 pizzas per church. And then you get like 10 churches to come in. And so that's crazy. It was nuts. And forget if you ran out of pepperonis. Then the real stuff would start. People got into fist fights in our lobby, man.
It was painful. Is it my turn?
Yeah, we're just top to bottom, I guess.
I have to disagree with John. The Little Caesars you worked at, it must have been later because when I worked at Little Caesars, I was in high school and it was called Little Caesars Pizza. So you bought one, you got one free all the time. So the containers had two. So on a weekend day, like a Saturday, we would unload 500 to 600 pizzas because even if you just got 250 orders, you're pumping out 500. And the other thing is our manager owned a yacht that he would take out on Watauga Lake, which was just about 5 minutes down the road from us. So he would have these huge pizza parties on his boat, and sometimes he would order 100 pizzas just on his own. So right there, just from our owner, we were making 200 pizzas just for him because he had these huge yacht parties on the lake. So
yeah, for cost.
Obvious lie. Okay, what's the next question?
So I just need to
guessing at the
clarify,
end.
are we only doing one question per occupation?
No, I thought we'd do 3.
Okay,
Is that all right?
Are we doing
that's
another?
fine. I'll find another one. Give me.
I thought it was clear, and our own producer's like, okay, wait a second. How does this game work?
Clearly said
This is
3.
why it took so long to do it. Tell me your method for rolling out the dough. Oh, easy. Little Caesars Pizza, you don't have to roll out the dough because it already comes in the standard Little Caesar size and shape. And so they just come in stacks of pre-made pizza dough. And so you don't have to roll them out. You just have to pull them out and fix them up.
It's not true at all. And the first thing you want to do too is you want to make sure you flour. You want to put flour down on the counter, and then you can roll it out. You can do it by hand and knead it and press it out with your fingers. And you have to try to get a consistent crust. They wanted about 3/4, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch around on the crust for the regular ones.
No, because we had a dough roller. We had the rolling pin. It was a little bit bigger, professional size rolling pin, about this big, but you can't see because I'm off the screen. And the problem was my friend Tommy would always grab it, so I ended up having to use a 5-gallon can of tomato paste. And it's like 40 pounds. So I always got criticized for my crust being too thin, but yeah, we had one rolling pin. I don't know what the
question
other
was your favorite method, right? That was.
I was like, what method do you use?
No,
That's all I had. But that's you go with what you have. When you're in the Little Caesars kitchen, the priority is getting the pizzas out. So
Actually, you're all wrong, because what we would do is we would make the dough the night before in little balls and put it in the cooler. And we had an industrial roller. You'd drop it in one end and it would come out almost the exact size of the pan. And we didn't use flour, we used cornmeal, because flour is too much of a mess. Cornmeal's a lot easier to sweep up. So you just send it through the roller and you drop it in the pan, and it was almost to the size it needed to be anyway. And you just push it out to the edges, because like I said, when you're pumping out 600 pizzas a day, it's got to be quick. So you just drop that dough in, put it in the pan, and send it on to the next person.
Obvious lie.
how good they're lying.
All right, we got one more question.
Not all lying. That's the thing.
All of us are lying. None of us.
None of these are real jobs.
None of us did any of this. What is Little Caesars' best-selling pizza? Well, again, it's going to depend on the area that you're in. The best-selling pizza is pepperoni. Pepperoni outsells both cheese and sausage combined.
Yeah, it's definitely pepperoni. It's especially when you would do the 2-for deals, and then once they started doing the hot and readies, the pepperoni always flies off first.
My friends, it's the $5 Sicilian cut, the square, that rectangle pizza. And it doesn't matter what the topping is, because people get, like you said, Brian did mention the hot and ready promotion that is still going on today, but they had to increase the price recently. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah.
But,
So you're
yeah,
saying
that
that people
$5
buy based on the shape.
Oh yeah, the shape is the definite.
And the way the
Rectangle's
cheese
a lot
comes up to
better.
the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JT, what do you?
Well,
What's your lie?
I'll agree. Pepperoni is probably the best seller now, but when I was working, it was the special. I don't even know if they do the special anymore, because it's been 30 years since I worked at Little Caesars. But it was pepperoni, onions, mushrooms, green peppers, and ham. It was 5 toppings, and we sold those like hotcakes. They were just always flying out the door. So that was the best selling one at my
See, we sold ours like pizzas.
my branch.
Flew out
Okay.
the door like pizzas.
So we're not going to tell anybody yet until we get through all of the careers.
Correct.
But I did see Tabby make the comment about whether each answers the same question or whether they each answer a different question. And I think for this next one, maybe have each of you answer a different question. What do you think?
Try that.
Sure.
A little difficult. That way
Sure.
we don't. That if we're making up
So
a
you
lie,
can't cheat, right? So you can't
for
cheat off
actually
the person who
lying.
actually is telling the truth.
Oh, okay.
because
Right.
like the third person in line can think about their answer
Right.
before the.
Right. And if the person happens
So
to
you-
be
so
going
we're gonna have-
first,
Different numbers. We're going to have the same number of questions. We're going to have to 4 questions,
4
right? And each of us are
questions,
going
yeah.
to take 1 question.
yes.
Okay.
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 So now for the wedding photographer.
Oh, this will be harder.
Wedding
I'm so glad.
photography.
Yeah.
So glad we got
Actually-
my occupation out of the way already.
What sucks for you guys
Questions
is I'm
about the wedding photographer.
Dude,
kinda like that
I can
guy
just
that-
make stuff up now.
kind of like the
Right.
guy that Pretender. Remember that TV show? The guy could just walk into any profession. Mm-hmm. I'm so
decided
smooth
I
like
don't
that.
know.
So
Okay.
wait, why the laughing emoji? These
She's
guys are
being
good.
wise.
Ha ha.
Nobody takes us seriously.
No.
They're all too busy saying who's sus and who's not sus, and so they're not asking questions about wedding photography
getting-
yet.
Who's
Who's
plumped?
getting? Who has
John
plumped?
Sus.
Oh wait, man.
Brian
like that
was a
dude
piece-
on Catch Me If
people
You
go,
Can.
Brian, all right. You don't have to guess yet, because
I'm over here forging checks.
Okay. Justin asked a question.
is this about the wedding photographer?
Yes, and I'm going to give this one to you. I'm going to go top to
Top
bottom
to
again.
bottom. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Let's do this.
What's the best f-stop for taking a photo of the ring on the bride's, what's it say? On the bride's hand. Okay, on the bride's hand. What's the best f-stop? Well, you need to understand that I wasn't actually the photographer. I was the assistant. I didn't work in the darkroom either. I was the assistant. It was my parents' business, and my dad worked in the darkroom. My mom took all the phone calls, and my brother and I were responsible for assembling the albums after the pictures came out. So we had these plastic binder things that like pages in a binder, and we put the pictures in there, and then we put the albums together, and that was my whole job.
So if you got questions about glue,
if you give me a question about the strength of the paper in the binder, I can tell you that. I can also tell you that I did go with my parents and assist on a pretty regular basis. I would carry camera equipment in, and I would run back and forth to the car and get stuff, and I would set up tripods, and that was my job because I was little. Like I was not even a teenager yet.
So how can you be around all that stuff all the time and not know what the best f-stop is?
Well, because
You're
I
pulling
never
our
got
leg, John.
My dad didn't let us handle the cameras because they were like $800 cameras.
Again, not even a teenager yet.
Right.
All right, this one's for Brian.
Okay. How much do you charge for a wedding? Well, it depends. Because I was part of an entertainment company that did DJs. We did DJs, so we did music and we did photography. Usually we ran about $700 to $1,000 for just the photography. The DJs could go anywhere from $250 to $500, depending on the number of hours. That also includes the setting up time, the meeting with the couple prior to, kind of getting some rough ideas. You have the initial meet and greet. You go over the contracts. You show what's the package. So it all depends. The price depends on the number of portraits that you're going to do, how many proofs do they get, how many edits, that sort of thing. So it was usually about between I would say $700 to $1,000.
Okay.
That's really
And
low. I don't believe you. I
Jawan.
don't believe you, Brian.
Did you ever
Really
take pictures of animals?
Well, there was a barn wedding once that we had, and it was the maid of honor was a cow, and then the best man was a rooster, and then we had all the descending farm animals. After that, you had a couple of cats, and so that was just that. I mean, that and the weirdest that's the weirdest wedding I've ever had to take pictures of. After the ceremony, you know how you have to group everybody together. You get the family, and then you got like the goats, just the goats together. Then the goats with the groom. Then you have the turkeys with the bride. That did not turn out well because the turkeys got a little agitated, and we got a lot of pictures of that, which they didn't pay for. But that's so just a lot of farm animals. Yeah.
Okay. And for
you guys want the truth. You want our stories. These are our stories, people.
JT, what was the weirdest interaction you ever had with a wedding guest?
You are not going to believe this. There's a lady that I do summer theater with, and she is also a chaplain. And she goes to these big bike rallies in Sturgis. She rides a motorcycle. And so she'll perform weddings at these things. And she asked me to go one time, and I took my cameras, and I'm not kidding you. I will call her tonight and get a picture to prove this to you. I don't have it with me now, but the bride had a kangaroo to walk her down the aisle. And I'm not kidding. I've never seen anything like it. She had a pet kangaroo.
Sure, was it a wallaby?
No, it was a kangaroo, and it had a little tux on.
Small difference.
It had a tux on, and it walked her down the aisle. And I've got some great pictures for that. So.
Okay. We now need questions for the person who designed ads for Yellow Pages. And I'm going to ask a different question to each person again, because I like that a lot. And if you're wondering why I keep jumping out of the stream, it's because I cannot keep a straight face while these guys are talking. I'm cracking up after every single one of them.
Do we need to tell the millennials and Gen Zers about Yellow Pages, or they need to know
it's the
what
phone
that's
book.
about?
Yeah, it's a telephone book. You
used to
open
get a
it up and
huge
it has
book, yeah.
numbers in it that you can dial to get in touch with business.
I also love that you guys are guessing in between, but not really.
You don't even know about JT.
Just
That's
letting
yeah.
people know they're sus.
JT is sus all the time.
Yeah.
you don't even know about that man. Okay,
She just
Are
changed
you
your name to
sure it
Sus.
wasn't a
Are we
wallaby?
still working?
I'm going to text Nina right now and ask
Wallaby.
her if I can share this picture with you all. I'm going to text her right now.
The picture of the bride with the kangaroo?
Yes, I'm going to text Nina right now.
Don't
She'll send it to me.
Give it away.
Yeah, don't give anything away yet.
Oh, I'm texting.
I'm just
Well, he's
watching.
just
I'm
gonna-
going to
it's
text
just-
Nina too.
I'm gonna
Just
text.
ask her to take it out of the album that you assembled for her. And
Okay, I'm gonna go actually from bottom to top this time. So we'll
Oh,
start
okay.
with JT.
And he's.
I know
gonna
he's looking for a picture, but
I am.
Nah.
but
Okay,
in the
go ahead.
meantime,
Answer
he's
this.
got to
No,
tell
he's
us
playing.
what industry he ran the most ads for. So like what, I guess, category
in the yellow pages.
in the yellow pages had the most ads.
I hate to say it, but it was massage parlors. There is a huge.
I mean-
there was a huge selection of massage parlors in the yellow pages in my hometown. So it was
Town you're
Johnson
in now?
City. Johnson
Oh,
City
Johnson
is.
City.
Yeah, Johnson City, Tennessee.
only
a
massage
university.
parlors.
Yeah, it's a university town, so there's a lot of.
There's a Checkers
sketchy
and
stuff
there's
going on.
20
It's
massage
just,
parlors.
it's just
all-
massage parlors and Little Caesars pizzerias.
That's the whole book. That's the whole book. Is just
Most
massage
of them,
parlors.
exactly. Most of them were out on Jonesboro Highway, because that is a sketchy road. There was even a motel out there called the It'll Do. I'm not kidding. Yes, right
You
next
get
to a
a
massage parlor.
bucket and a pile of leaves.
That's right. And they give you
It'll
two
do.
washcloths, one for your face and one for your gun. So I'm not kidding you. Sad truth.
This is not Juwan's question, but it made me laugh.
Can you rip with your bare hand?
All of them.
How much time
have to
can I?
answer that.
Yeah, how much time do I have?
Okay, this is for Juwan. How do you begin writing an ad, or how do you begin an ad?
Oh well, I spent
With
a
the
lot
letters
of time.
A and D.
Well, I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time on the phone with the client, and if it's a massage parlor like JT mentioned, you gotta ask them what their name is. We had one place called Rub You the Right Way, and so nothing bad was going on there. I don't know why you guys are laughing. But so the inspiration, like a song, comes from the title of the establishment, and sometimes so massage parlor, I might think we got a lot of clip art, we got a lot of stock images, so it might have a guy doing this. Like you could use it for self-defense class, like a guy's coming to choke you, or he's coming to massage your shoulders. So that's the cool part about stock images, because you could use the same thing for multiple different things. So that would and then you got to figure out, since that would be more of a horizontal image, and then you got to think about the page, where it fits on the page, and if they paid for a quarter of a page or the whole page. Like a whole page, I'd spend all day on that thing. But if it was just one of the little straps, you just write the business name and the number. So that was the easy part.
Juwan's ads were very detailed.
Okay, this is for Brian.
Juwan's overly specific.
Which ad? I'm gonna
This is
add
how
the
you
one
know
you
that I
wrote.
have been all of these things.
Which ad did you write that had the best slogan or catchphrase in your opinion?
I actually wrote a joke one because what we would do is we would try to sell them because we would design them and try to encourage them to like upsell to a bigger like ad space. So if they previously ran like a quarter page, we want to do a half page. And there was one, I don't remember exactly the name of it, but what we ended up doing was just put a clip art of a hamburger there, and had nothing to do with food. It was like for shoes or something. And so we put a hamburger in there, and then we just wrote "Go figure," and we just left it at that. And we all had a great laugh with that. So that
No shoes were sold.
no shoes were sold, and so we had the "Go figure" burger. It was glorious.
McDonald's stock skyrocketed.
Go figure. It's going to turn out JD did all 4. Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't sabotage y'all that way.
And I need one more on this.
We need at least 4 questions for these. I know you guys have to discuss between yourselves, but we still need questions.
What sort of background makes a good ad or makes you a good ad designer?
Well, actually, the best ad designers when you're working at the Yellow Pages is the person who's the fastest. And so if you're a person, we used software. We did desktop publishing. That was back when desktop publishing was first starting. And so it was really all about, a lot of times we didn't get to design them. We were just basically given the copy. This is what the ad is supposed to say. Make it say that. And so whoever did that the fastest was the person that they liked the most. We didn't have the luxury of being able to design works of art. It was very it's very clinical. All that you had to do was put an ad on a page that was going to get the job done. And so nobody ever came in and held up an Yellow Page ads and said, "This is the most beautifully designed page of Yellow ads I've ever seen." No one ever said that.
They walk into a Michaels and go, "Can you frame this?
Can we put this in the Louvre? Can we put this in the Louvre?" No, they just wanted you to get the job done. So,
okay, I need questions for the producer of public access
we
television.
haven't even gone through all that. Wow, we got one more question. Wow.
And I saw some already. If I scroll up.
She doesn't know.
Public access was like the Wayne's World skit. Actually, that's even older than public access.
There was one up here, but I can't find it. So give me more questions for the producer of public access television.
We're going top to bottom now, and we're going to get right.
Why don't we start in the middle and go up and down at the same time?
Okay.
Oh, we all start just
Yeah,
start
Juwan
talking.
and I will talk at the same time.
That works out
Both
so
answer.
well.
Let's
then me
actually
and JT
start
will
with
talk.
let's start with Juwan this time, and then we'll go to Brian, and then
The worst thing
JT, and then
you
Dan.
produced for TV.
Yeah.
Well, there was this. Besides, like we did sports for like little kids, so it's different when it's your kid, but when you're watching kids you have zero investment in, that's kind of a different thing. So it was like
Other
Little
people's.
League, and then I had to make like little graphics for the Little League game. It's still 0-0, and it's like in the 10th inning. And the other one was there was a workout show, and it was a guy and his wife, and all they did was they did the regular, if you go into a hotel and it's got a really small gym and it's just got the thing with the wires, that's all they would do. They would just do the little, and you're like, I can't figure this out. It's got the diagram on there. Why are you making a show on how to pull down the bar? So that was kind of boring. So that was the worst.
The
Okay.
worst show that he produced.
Brian, how many shows did you produce?
Well, technically, it was more for a project because I went to a place called Connecticut School of Broadcasting. So it's basically where you learn. They had 6 locations throughout New England. Amazing. And so I learned all about TV and radio. And so as part of that, they basically brought us to a public access studio. And so we got to do trials there. So all the things we did were they were basically fake ones, and then if they liked what you did, you could kind of hang out and work along the real people. So there was some really terrible, I think the worst one was this talk show. They tried to do and I'm not making, they tried to do a talk show kind of like Johnny Carson style, but it was just this Boston guy. I forget his name. It was like Nick, and he was just like, "Hey, what's going on?" He had this accent, right? And then he would have like comedians come on and like musicians, but there was no audience. So comics are coming on, and it just looks like it's somebody's basement, and they're just in this like little chair, and the lighting's terrible. And he would just try to do these little jokes, and then they'd have like these comics and these like singers come on with zero like audience reaction at all, and it was the most awkward thing ever to see.
You get the buzz of the
Okay.
And then it would roll.
So how
credits.
many of those?
Yes.
Produced by Brian April.
Exactly.
So how many
I'm
of
very
those?
proud of
Just
that.
the one? Okay.
Yeah, the question was, how many shows did you produce?
So,
Just that one.
well, like I said,
After that,
we did a
Connecticut
bunch of
School of
like we did a
Broadcasting
bunch
went
of
bankrupt.
different things. So, all in all, that made it to air probably. I probably worked on maybe like 10 or 15. Not too many.
Okay. JT,
Everybody's
what's the
saying it's
most
all you.
critical part of producing a public access TV show?
You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Clever ploy.
There we go.
Mr.
Sorry.
Oaks.
And he supposedly produced
no,
public
I-
access television.
It's
You
having
can't
the
even
audio
produce
work
StreamYard.
properly.
The hardest thing was keeping people from fighting on the set because we're talking about free speech here. So one minute you might have a Buddhist monk coming on, and then the
Jerry
next
Springer
minute you'll
show.
have some white power dude who's waving his Nazi flag.
They pass each
and
other.
then you'll bring a prison team in. And I still remember this one guy. He brought in he had been working on this karate routine, and he used the song Iron Man by Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, and they started playing that song, and these two guys held a baseball bat between them, and at the part where it got to the dun 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 dun, he hauled off and kicked that baseball bat, and it didn't budge, and he broke his ankle. And immediately it just swelled up to the size of a football, and he kicked it again and broke it the second time with the same ankle. Oh, and then right after that, we had some preacher come in from a Baptist church in town. I mean, people would just get into it all the time. It was crazy. So we literally had to physically keep people apart sometimes at the studio. And it wasn't just the producers. It wasn't just the people who were creating content. It was the staff. Because you got, the staff is all like NPR people. They're all extreme left wing, and they don't like it when the Baptist preachers come in and the Muslim imam and all this. And they don't like all of that. And so they get in fights with the people. It's like, you can't say that on public access. And people be like, yes, I can. It's called free
yes,
speech,
I
baby.
can.
Called free
Public
speech. What are you going to do
access.
about it? So there you go.
Okay.
The Baptist preacher's trying to heal the guy's ankle, and he's like, I don't want you to touch
Exactly.
me, preacher. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, this is for you, John. And it's kind of related, I guess. Were there any jerks on your show, and how did you deal with them?
Yeah, well, here's the thing about the people on public access television. They think that they're celebrities because they're on public access television. And so, the worst ones are some of the remotes that we would have to do, where we would go out and interview somebody in, we did a show called Across Indiana, and it was just going around the state of Indiana and finding interesting people to talk to, and they would, many of them, just because we would show up there with a film crew, they thought, hey, I'm a person who can act like a celebrity. These people are here to film me, and so they would make demands, like they would make demands about dressing rooms and water, and some of them would even ask for like stipends, like do we get lunch? Do we get to eat at the catering and all? And they would just have all of these weird demands. Can I make requests for the caterers? They would ask the caterers to make them omelets. Omelets? And it's like, you're not understanding. A lot of people would get big heads when we went out and talked to them.
We have a
And,
pack of
and
crackers.
so how we dealt with them was, we just said, you understand, this is local public television. I'm not even getting paid for this, so calm down, omelet boy.
This is being broadcast to
Across
7
Okay.
people.
So
right.
people are already starting to put their guesses in the comments. We've got JT Pinocchio Oaks.
Pinocchio.
Hey,
Pinocchio.
Amanda, can I just prove that I'm the wedding? I sent you a link to the video of the kangaroo wedding. It's me behind the camera.
Okay,
and I
look.
just want to remove all doubt that I was the wedding photographer.
Anytime you say to JT, what's the weird story about blank? He will have a weird story about whatever it is.
You're one to
It
talk.
doesn't even matter.
It's because it's all true.
Okay.
Okay. I do have the video pulled up, but I don't have the screen shared.
It's me behind the camera.
Okay, is this
I'm
at
telling you.
Sturgis? Because
This is at Sturgis, yeah.
Should we cover our eyes?
The kangaroo wedding. Well,
You know how things get at Sturgis.
it's family friendly.
You know
The
how
kangaroo is wearing a tux.
hilarious.
It's fine.
Yeah,
He's got a shirt on.
All right, if this is
Well,
if,
is this going to
oops,
sway everybody?
I was gonna say if this sways people, then
Well, maybe you shouldn't show it then. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I think we could
Let's wait till
give
after.
the answers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
till
let's do the
after.
answers and then we can.
the video is worthy.
So we give
of viewing.
everybody a few minutes to make their guesses. Make
here's
your
what's
guesses.
his
but you-
face. John Yellow Pages ad, Juwan Wedding Photography, Brian Public Access Television, JT Little Caesars.
All right.
That's what's
Should we
his face.
should we wait until
Interesting
somebody
guesses.
gets it
Not
right?
bad. We have to
I
get them
will
all
say-
right.
That is
do
not
it like-
entirely correct.
We do it like Warble, and if we
Not
get
entirely
one
correct.
right, we say what it is.
Sue
Was that even
says-
partially correct?
Oh wait,
They're
no.
partially. Sue says JT Pizza, Brian
Hmm.
Wedding Photography, John Design Ads, Juwan Public Access
Oh,
Television.
They're
This is
2
like
for 4.
Mastermind.
Not
We should have a little
correct,
colored
but
peg
closer.
for each one of us.
yeah, just tell them how
That's-
many they
that's-
got.
That's
So
two. That's 2 for 4.
2 out of 4.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
good. That's good. I like that.
John Wedding Photography, Brian Little Caesars, Juwan Producer of the TV show, JT Yellow Pages.
Again,
2 of 4.
That's
What's the
no,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's 2.
2 out of 4.
no, it
It's a
isn't.
new word.
Yeah,
game.
Yes,
one.
it
Yes,
is.
it is.
2 out of
It's
4.
2.
Without pointing them out.
Oh yeah, it is. It's 2. That's 2.
We can only
I
tell
forgot
you
what
yes.
I did.
Okay, we've
Based
got
on your answers.
People like it.
Juwan Public Access,
Mm-hmm.
John Yellow Pages, Brian Pizza, JT Wedding Photos. That's only 1 out of 4.
1. That's 1 out
And
of
it's
4.
the wedding photos, I'm telling you. You got the wedding photos right.
That's what makes it hard to
JT
pick
wants this game to
JT.
go all night long.
That's what makes it hard for JT because he has a weird story for everything. So if you're
Exactly.
like, hey, were
Wait,
you
Dakota wants to change. John produced TV show,
Mm-hmm.
Brian Little Caesars, Juwan Wedding Photography, JT Yellow Pages. Now you've got none,
None of
of
them.
them.
None of those are right.
I want to see video of somebody
back.
with like a notepad or a whiteboard, or like they got the clear board and they're writing on it like beautiful mind. They're trying to do all the probability of each thing. And
Hey, look,
what is
this
the
one's got emojis. JT Pizza, Juwan Photography, John Ads
Yellow
in
Pages.
the Yellow Pages, and Brian TV. That's only 1 right.
1 out of 4.
Yep.
Oh,
So we're getting it.
Okay.
Who's
John-
going to get it?
Wedding
Interesting.
Photography, Brian Public Access, JT Little Caesars, Juwan Design Ads. So close.
so close,
Nope.
you guys.
But what do we have?
When
2
do
out of
we-
4.
2 out of 4 again.
2 out of
Yeah,
4.
still 2. Nobody's gotten 3.
Oh, this
if you
is
get
fun.
3, if somebody
You
gets
can't get
3,
three, yeah.
the next
If
person,
somebody gets 3, then we'll call
Yeah.
that close
I'm
enough.
still
the next
looking.
person will get it.
Rachel.
Wait, you're
is
right. You
not
can't
right.
get
You can't get 3. You can only get 2 out of 4.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
get
right.
3.
John Pizza, Brian Wedding, JT Yellow Pages, Juwan Public Access. 1 out of 4.
So we're getting
Okay.
3 out of 4. Then we'll be really impressed.
That would be
Pen
amazing.
is spinning. My
All right,
mind is
John.
too scrambled to figure this out.
John,
So-
Brian, JT, and Lou Ferrigno. Nope, that's only 3 out of 4. Dang it.
Okay, hang on a minute.
The wrong
Nope,
person.
that's wrong too. I'm still
Do we
scrolling
reveal
through.
1?
Well, it's going to be
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
it's going to get tedious.
Yep, this is nobody's gotten them.
Get
All right, let's
one.
reveal 1.
Yeah, reveal
One.
1.
Okay,
Pizza maker was.
Okay.
so
Okay,
far
let's see.
everybody has
Put up
been.
Melinda Powers. Put up Melinda's.
It's pizza artist.
Where is
Yeah.
Melinda Powers? Oh,
Oh,
I see.
Never mind. None of them are right. I
Oh.
thought you had one of them right.
Nope.
Pizza.
Put up one that has one of them right. Okay, Justin. Put up Justin's.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Why he gets 2 public access?
I don't
he
know.
gets
That's-
Brian and JT.
he's just trying to cover
JT
the
and I work
bases.
together.
Yeah.
Just trying to spread it out.
No, I'm not gonna do this
JT
one.
Brown,
Hang,
okay.
hang on, Dad. Don't say anything. I've
Okay.
got.
Hang
I'm gonna do this one, and the one that everybody has gotten correct multiple times is that JT was the pizza guy.
JT, the
Yeah,
pizza
JT
guy.
is a pizza
Okay.
maker.
JT did talk with authority about
Taking
Little Caesars
pizza
Pizza.
to the massage parlors.
Okay. So
Yeah.
JT pizza guy.
Constantly getting
Right.
covered over there.
Oh, look at
So,
this. Also,
JT's
JT Pizza, Brian Photography, John
Okay.
Yellow Pages, and Juwan Public Access TV.
No.
2 of those are
So
correct.
close.
Two of those are correct, and we know
So
that JT's correct, and
JT's
so
correct.
Ah, ding, 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 ding. That's it, Dakota. Process of elimination.
good job, Dakota. Knowing Dakota, he probably went and analyzed all of the answers
He was like,
and figured out
There's
which two
currently-
must have been correct in every one.
Currently, he's got red yarn strung out all over.
Yeah,
his
exactly.
like thumbtack
He's-
of pictures.
He's probably he's got the beautiful mind. It's got the things all over the place.
see, Dad, you were throwing people off because they knew that your parents were teachers,
Yeah.
but they also had a side hustle.
Right. And the
gotta do
side hustle
something on the
was wedding
weekends.
photographer.
By the way,
Yeah,
the
great
Go Figure
papers.
Burger thing is a true story.
I figured that sounded like a true story.
And
That's
I also
great.
did.
Believe it.
I did layout. I did ad layout at the print shop where I worked, and so Brian did it, but I also did it. That's just not what I
Now-
picked.
Well, part
You
of it
have-
did lie is an element of truth because everything I said had an element of truth
Yeah.
in it. So.
Now you have to share the name of your parents' photography business.
Why? Why do I have
Because
to share that
You
name?
have to share the name of the photography business.
It's not going to be funny.
You have to tell everyone what they
exposure.
named their photography business.
Okay, they didn't name it. My dad named it because my dad is a goofball. My dad was a teacher in public school for many, many years, and so he had a lot of people that knew him, recognized the Branyan name. And so he used Branyan for the name of the photography business, but instead of calling it Branyan's Pictures, he called it Branyan's Bictures with a B, and that's how it appeared in the Yellow Pages, Branyan's Bictures. So it looked like a typo. Tagline: we put the B in pictures. And of course, there is no B in pictures.
That's
but we
fantastic.
put one there.
Oh gosh.
And that was my dad's idea of. He thought that
fantastic.
people
We
would look
forced
through
the
it
B.
and they would stumble on it and they would go, Branyan's Pictures, that's probably a typo.
Yeah.
And he was right. The fact is that advertising is supposed to just get attention. That's all it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And even though people said, well, that's the stupidest name for a business ever, they're correct, but
Got
they
attention,
remembered it. And so
Yeah,
when
exactly.
they went to have their wedding photography done, they would think of Branyan's Pictures because it was so dumb.
Yep.
These
And years
people-
later, my grandma says to me, as I'm asking her about Branyan's Pictures, and she's like, I always hated that name. I thought it was so stupid. And she goes, but I'll tell you a story. She goes, after a few years, he decided he also wanted to get into the computer business. He wanted to build his own computers and sell
That's
them.
true.
And she goes, he told me he wanted to name it Branyan's Bombputers. And I told him, no, I draw the line at Bombputer.
Yeah, that would get the FBI on your doorstep pretty damn quick. These people can't spell. I'm sure they'd be able to operate in sophisticated
He's a
equipment
public
like a
school
camera.
teacher and he can't spell pictures.
Things that have never
fantastic.
been said since then and before that. I draw the line at Bombputer.
That is absolutely true. We grew up. Branyan's Pictures was the family business, and we had little stickers. We had a gold stamp that all the where it said Olin Mills. Where it would say Olin Mills on your school pictures. It said Branyan's Pictures down in the corner.
Wow.
Yep.
I
so
bet
that
I
was-
have some of those in that picture.
You
box
probably
right there.
do. And here's the thing that the other story that that my mother tells is my brother and I, the 4th of July, we would always get fireworks and get into all kinds of trouble lighting fireworks. And one year we figured out that you could make bottle rockets if you took certain fireworks and flipped them upside down, the kind that had some thrust to them, like they were little flowers.
shoot
You remember
out
the flowers?
stuff, yeah.
You light them and you threw them on the ground, they would spin.
Shoot out.
Yeah.
Well, we figured out that if you put them at the right angle, tied a stick to them, they would actually shoot up in the air. They didn't go very straight. We didn't know that until we built one. And how we fastened the stick to the fountain was with the Branyan's Pictures sticker. So it had our name and address and telephone number on it. And so we spent the evening lighting these things, and they would not go straight. They went everywhere. They would take off. They would go over the house. They would go over the neighbor's house. And so all over the neighborhood, there was these fireworks that we had put our label on. Our names were on them. So
That's great.
That never, okay, so it never culminated in somebody going, this scared all my chickens. Well, they're out in the street. You boys going to have to help me catch all these chickens. And you're chasing chickens all night.
It probably would now, but we grew up in a different era where people were a little more tolerant and where people understood that boys did stuff like that. I mean, they said, we burned our clubhouse down.
Burned down. Guys. Oh, those Branyan boys burning down.
Boys. Just a 5-alarm fire.
Setting the neighborhood on fire again.
Those kids.
My dad had how many fire? I got all kinds of fire stories. Didn't we tell this story?
Fire stories.
At Story Salad one night about my electric car, my dad's electric cars.
Yeah.
Did we tell that story?
That was a good one. Tell it again.
Sounds
my
like
dad
a side quest.
Catching
My dad,
chickens?
the same guy who came up with Branyan's Bictures, had the first electric cars that were available, and this was long before there was Elon Musk and all of that. It was basically a golf cart that had like a plexiglass body built onto it, and it literally looked like a piece of cheese. I mean, it had a shape like that. It would look like a triangle
towards open doors
with wheels on it.
Them open.
And it was big enough for 2 people, and then you could put like 2 bags of groceries behind it. But that was it. It was this tiny little golf cart with a car body on it. And it would only do about 30 miles an hour tops if you were going downhill.
That's good.
And it had almost zero acceleration. You would put the pedal down, and you would hear it go, beep! It was like this really high-pitched thing. And then it would just accelerate, but it would take forever to get up to 30 miles an hour. And then it would be time to brake again. The coolest part about that car was that it had a little pump on the floor, like a little bulb, and if you stepped on it, it would blow washer fluid onto the windshield, and so you could go. And my brother and I discovered that if you turned that thing sideways, you could actually squirt. It would squirt like 30 feet
Out to the side.
and so we could drive down the street and like squirt people, and they would be like, still looking for rain and stuff. And that was so. My dad's car was parked in the driveway one day, and it shorted out. Something happened to it, and it put itself in gear and drove backwards across the street into my neighbor's shrubbery. Drove out of our driveway into the neighbor's driveway, crashed into their shrubbery, and burst into flames. So
Fantastic.
I was delivering papers, and as I'm on my way home, there's a cloud of black smoke coming up, in the distance. And I'm like, man, that looks like it's in my neighborhood. And I'm getting closer, and I'm like, that looks like it's like in my front yard. And so I come running, and the fire department was already there, and they had just finished extinguishing the flame. But the neighbor's shrub and the car, it was just a black frame. That's all that was left. And there was all of this melted fiberglass on the driveway.
That's like the most non-eventful car explosion. And then just like slowly.
Yeah.
So that was my dad. Branyan's Bictures, everybody.
Branyan's Bictures.
Branyan's Computers. All right, and that's our show for this evening. And I haven't even brought up
That's how big it is. That's how big it is.
Somebody wrap us up.
I want to say some things
while we bring up the Snappy Wrap Up generator.
He just comes in.
You can find
You're
John at
staring too.
castingcrowns.com.
Okay,
You can find John Thomas Oakes at
There you go.
johnthomasoakes.com. You can support Comedy Brian at his Patreon, patreon.com/comedybrian. And also, as we mentioned earlier in the show, you can visit johnbranyan.com, become a member of the Comedy Clique, and then you can join us for the after party, which starts very shortly.
Very soon. We can feel it in our bones. All right. So I'm going to push this button one time, and you have to pick who's going to do the Snappy Wrap Up.
That's a good one, though. I hope we
That
can
is a
come
good
back.
one.
I hope we
All
get
right.
that
Should we
one.
leave it
This
at that in the style of a distracted farmer who's drunk?
It's too much. I don't know. Just push the button.
Who's
This is
doing
going
it,
to
Peach?
be John and Brian.
All
John
right.
and Brian are going to do it in the style of a romantic squid farmer who's sobbing from cutting onions.
But great, but show, but tonight, guys.
But thanks.
Bugs.
And your car provided a merry flame. One of Jessica's favorite episodes. Great job. Okay, so
Warm the seat.
I'm gonna hit this video, and you're gonna read the credits, whatever that said.
Romantic squid farmer sobbing from cutting onions.
Romantic squid farmer.
Oh man, my squids.
On your mark, get set,
Beautiful.
go.
Put my squids away.
It's so look at the way
Like
they're
Laura
decked
Adams,
out.
she bought a squid. And
Oh.
then Peter Chapman, he
That's
got a
right.
squid. I'm like down to 2 squids, and then Sherry Hampton walked
Oh,
in. and he just
no,
snapped
Aaron
it
J
up.
was so good. He was looked so nice with that around his neck. It was so
Jeffrey
cute.
Niven, he bought the last squid.
I know,
guys-
holy Lord.
Sound like Bill
How
Clinton.
do you?
I did not
Man,
ask
dang it,
Larry York
Olivia
to do
Weir.
a squid farm joke. I did not do that, but